let's talk about sex openly, and especially about the topic, can sex revive love? I am ready to talk about this because I am so much triggered by the conversation that I had with my friend. And during that conversation, she mentioned that love can be revived through sex. And then she continued talking because I was not alone, it was another friend as well. And the moment she told this, it triggered me so badly, but I wasn't fast enough to point the finger on what exactly triggered me. So I came back home, I had my dinner, I prepared myself to go to sleep. That's why I'm in my pajamas. Sorry for the outfit. Actually, no, not sorry. So yeah, basically, thank you, my dear friend. You know who you are. And that's my response to your words. Can sex revive love? If you're curious, keep watching. Welcome back, guys. First of all, thank you so much for all the support that you give to this channel. For any of your likes, subscribe, share, comment. I really appreciate it, and I would really love to hear your opinion about this topic. Do you think can sex revive love? I would really love to hear what you think about it. So feel free to write down below in the comment section, yeah? And let's continue. So, why it triggered me so much? Because I see this mentality, I see this perception of what love is in this light, that sex is kind of a source of love, something like that, that through sex you can experience love. No, and I will tell you why. So the answer to the question, can sex revive love, for me, from my side, from my attitude, from my point of view, is completely no. No. First of all, what does it mean to revive love? Let's start from this. What does it mean to revive love? Or there is love, or there is love, or there is no love. Such thing as love cannot be revived, first of all. Let's start from this. I am talking about real love, like real, raw, authentic love, that the most powerful power, energy, vibration of all that makes miracles, that is creative energy, that you just feel in your body. And not only in your body, actually, you feel outside of your body. While sex, you feel in your body. Love, true love, it exists or it doesn't exist. When people start approaching love from the space of sex and that physical attraction, they are approaching from a lower nature. If we remember the alignment of chakras, right? There is the lowest, root chakra, then sacral chakra, that is connected with sex, then solar plexus chakra, heart chakra, and so on, and goes up to the highest level of chakras that are that represent spiritual side of the person. So lower is more natural 3D nature. That's why it's called a lower nature, a physical nature. And as higher you go, as more spiritual it becomes, as more divine it becomes. So when somebody starts relationship from sex and thinks that, oh, that's love, that's trauma fusion. You fuse with the trauma of another person. That's what it is. That's not love. That's trauma relationship. And why you fuse with that trauma is because your own trauma that you didn't resolve within yourself, that is passed on you from generations, from your ancestors, by your epigenetics. Your trauma complements the trauma of another person. That's why you are so enmeshed in each other. That's why there exists that push and pull dynamic. When one is pushing, another is pulling, and then tables reverse. The one who was pulling is pushing, and all that crap happens. Like running, chasing, running, and like chaos and drama. Yeah. If you feel that by the energy, it feels like drama. Drama is not love. It's just not. So, if we approach love from a lower nature, then we will never reach love, because love exists high. And if somebody gets stuck in that sacral chakra, where the wound actually is, if relationship is based on the physicality and that unexplainable sexual attraction, then there will be no leveling up to the spiritual level where love exists. Here I want to correct myself actually. No, it's not true. If the relationship has started from a lower nature, if the foundation was sex, it doesn't mean that that relationship can't elevate to the next level and to evolve to a spiritual connection that is based on a spiritual side together with a physical side. Everything is possible. But in my own experience of relationships, the same as what I see during my work with clients, there is the same pattern, always the same pattern, that if such relationship started on sex, one person in the couple will start elevate, will start wanting more than just a physical. And another person, the partner, will stay stuck in that lower nature. And there is a reason why it is happening exactly this way. It's because to teach the lesson what really matters. What do you actually want in the relationship? Is it enough for you? So especially those highly sensitive people, they get into such relationships first, so then they can redefine their world and get back in touch with themselves, because that's the purpose of such relationships, to bring back, to come back to yourself, to your spiritual self, to connect back. So it is possible that the relationship that started from sex can elevate to a spiritual level, can level up, but it takes two to tango. Two people must want and commit to that goal of connecting on a spiritual side. Both people must commit to themselves and to their own growth, and they should be willing to do this. It should be in their interest. But again, if one refuses, if one lives ignorant life with his or her head in the sand, then it's not possible to do something. It's not possible for that relationship to flourish and to level up. Because now imagine if you have such relationship, or if you had such relationship, imagine that person standing in front of you and remove sex out of the equation. You live with that person without sex. You are in the relationship with that person without sex. Can you still love that person? Do you still feel love for who they are and how they are? And it defines many things. How they treat you, how they treat themselves, how they treat other people in different environments, in business, in family, in friends circle. Are they the same in every environment? Because they are living in their truth, so they live in one truth, so they treat people accordingly to that one truth? Or are they different with different masks in different environments, with each situation the same as with you? Is there still love when you remove sex out of equation? Can you love that person the way they are? That's my question. And yes, it's possible to love still, even if they don't treat you right. Even if you see all flaws of that person, even if that person has no connection with a higher level, with the spiritual side of them, even if they operate only on a lower nature, you can still love them. Yes, if you remove sex, you can still love them. But the question is, do you want to base your relationship and go into the marriage based on lower nature connection, when there is only physicality and no spirituality, no spiritual connection? So this should be taken into consideration, that first of all, love starts not down there, but it starts here. Connection with the source, with the divine, and then it connects, like heart chakra connects two worlds, upper world and lower world. Spirituality with physicality, it comes into one, and through the heart, then love is communicated. And exactly, true love is communicated through both, and through sex, and through higher level, when the higher level is emotions, feelings, when it's not withholded, when it's not hidden, when it's not resisted. In other words, you can experience the highest form of love, the highest form of expression of love, when there is emotional intimacy between two people. And look, when you see into another person fully for how they feel, intimacy, into me see. So when that vulnerability, such level of intimacy exists, then the sex is like a spice, additional spice to the relationship. But in order for heart to be open and to share that love so another person feels it, it must be connection with the spiritual side and with the physical side. With the spiritual self, what we hear from our intuition, we connect with the divine through our intuition, and connection with the lower, with the practical self, when we are when we are staying in our body, when we are feeling our body, when we are aware what is happening around us. So when that is aligned into one truth, then the heart is open. Then another person feels love. Otherwise, it's just sex. And all that good feeling that sex brings is short lived, is so temporary. And that feeling is chemically based. You you feel all of those sensations of amazing feeling, yeah, amazing orgasm probably. You feel all of that because your body produces those chemicals. So another thing is love is not associated with the body, with physical nature. Love is not physically based nature feeling. Because if you remember your previous relationships, let's say, and if it was true love, if it was really true love, regardless, are you with this person now or no? But if it's your ex, you're not with that person anymore. But when you remember that person, your ex, and if you can still feel love, after all, after the relationship is over, then it's another proof. Love doesn't require physicality. I don't need now to call to my ex, hey, let's jump to bed. Let's revive our love. What? What is it? It just, I don't know. For me, it's really triggering to hear that young people are mixing love with sex when sex should be yeah, yeah. When sex should be a byproduct of love. But sadly, it's pretty much common actually, the attitude that I heard it even by myself, by my own ears, from one friend who told that first, before you get married, you need to test if she's good in sex. Only then you know that marriage will succeed. Literally, I wanted to puke out when I heard that. Because it sounded and it looked like the attitude when the woman is being kept as an object of satisfaction, of physical satisfaction, when there are no emotions involved, when there are no higher feelings, just physical satisfaction. Sex is like a cherry on top of love. And when there is that love that comes from spiritual side of us, then sex is like, whew, like out of this world, because it's connecting not only physical part of you, not only, it's not based only on a chemical production in your body, but it's based on a spiritual connection, on the heart-based connection. And you know what is sexy as hell? Like hot, attracting, and like, yummy. It's emotional vulnerability. It's so sexy when you know the soul of the person in front of you. When first you discover the naked soul, when that person shows you wide open, everything what's inside of them, all the vulnerability, all the emotions, all the flaws and ups and downs and shadow and light, when everything is exposed to the point that you stand in the Eden's garden naked. Your soul is naked. And when both people recognize and discover each other in this way, then it's sex as hell. Then the sex becomes like experience like out of this world, because the foundation is based on emotional vulnerability, on naked soul experience. And that's why sex should be as a byproduct of love, of that spiritual, emotionally vulnerable connection. And when somebody doesn't have that connection with the spiritual self, and they think that sex is love, love is sex, and that you can revive lost love by sex, that you just pump to the bed, you experience all those chemicals in your body, and oh, it's love because it feels good, right? And then next morning, next day, or even the same day, sorry, my darling, I need to go and do the same as I used to do. I'm going back to my old patterns of behavior. Bye bye. I'm again a witch, or I'm again an asshole. Thank you, I had love for one night, and now I'm back to my old self. Is it love? Or was it just one time chemical sensations in your body? And when somebody is not connected with the spiritual self, when there is emptiness, the void between physical and spiritual, then the person in the relationship will always play a back and forth dynamic. What I mean by that? Imagine a kid, a child, who lost their toy, the best, the most favorite toy, and they finally get that toy. And they play for the one day, maybe even 1 hour. They get that satisfaction, dopamine level in their body. Oh, it's my favorite toy. I'm bored. Let's throw it away. And then when some other kid takes it, or maybe parents take that toy, they see that their favorite toy is taken by somebody else, then that fear comes into play that, oh my god, I'm losing my favorite toy, even though I don't want to play with that now, but maybe one day I will want to play. So immediately that fear of losing the object of satisfaction makes that person run and chase that toy and beg for that toy to come back to their life, that parents give them back or another child gives them back. But again, they take back that toy, they play a little bit, and they throw away like, I'm not interested anymore. So the same is when a relationship is based starting from sex and imagining that it's love. So a person who is disconnected from higher self, from the spiritual self, they will see their partner as an object of satisfaction. And if they mix sex with love, they will think that that partner is the source of love for them. Because every time they come into physical contact with that person, they feel amazing feelings that is subconsciously, I don't know, associated with love. So the moment they get it, satisfaction, then I don't need it. Because I got the dose in my body, right? So, but, and that's how that push and pull happens with a person when that toy is literally a person. So, okay, well, let's have one night sex. Let's experience that love. Let's revive love through sex. And then next day, I don't need you. I don't want you. I'm bored. Let's find some other toys. That's where infidelity comes from. That's, yeah, basically infidelity and betrayals and deceptions. And that's why it's not love. Because love doesn't require condition to have physical interaction with somebody. If you can love somebody and remove sex from out of the equation and still love them, then it's real love. But if you remove sex out of the equation and you don't feel anything for that person, and if you, basically if you don't feel anything for that person, then that was never love to begin with. And I want to point out that even if you remove sex out of the equation and you still feel that love, the same as I gave example with ex, right? If you can still feel love for your ex-partner, it doesn't mean that you need to react to that feeling and call him or her and say, hey, I'm feeling that feeling, it's called love, so let's revive it through sex. Let's make it even bigger. So let's meet up and have some fun. And what a bullshit is it? If you left that person for certain reasons, most likely that you were not compatible with him or her in some level or another, then any kind of physicality such as sex will not revive anything, because there is nothing what to revive at the first place. So I want to point out exactly this, that unconditional love is just that feeling in your heart, that very pleasant feeling that regardless the conditions, you still have that feeling for that person. But it doesn't mean that you need to act upon that feeling. It doesn't mean that you need to be in the relationship with that person. Because love is unconditional. True love is unconditional. And if that person is not compatible with you, for example, if you are connected with your true self, if you are connected with your spiritual side, and that person is not, so this is where incompatibility comes from. So such relationship will never work out. It will not be based on a healthy love, on a healthy foundation. Such thing as healthy love doesn't even exist. Or there is love or there is no love. There is no such thing as healthy or unhealthy love. It's trauma fusion or it's love, I would say. So yeah, basically you don't need to react to that feeling of love. You need to use your mind at that point. You need to use your mind and think, is that person that I'm feeling those beautiful feelings, that one feeling, beautiful feeling like love, and it can be very strong, very warm, very beautiful, very compassionate, but use your mind. If that person in front of you is equal to you, is that person compatible with you? Does that person have the same foundational values that you can start building the strong relationship on? Because when there is no strong foundation from both sides equally, then what are we talking about? Like sex reviving love? Like what? If there is no foundation of values, sex will not do anything, will not revive anything. And yeah, we are coming back to the same what I started with. That love, or it exists or it doesn't exist. There is no such thing as reviving love. Forget about it. And also, it's very important to put it into your consciousness, this thing that each relationship that you encounter, it doesn't matter, is it romantic, friendship, business, family ship, any kind of ship that you encounter in your life, it's just a reflection, projection of you. It's a manifestation, outer manifestation of your internal self. So people will treat you the same way as you treat yourself. If you don't respect yourself, guess what? Other people will not respect you. If you are disconnected from yourself, from your higher self, from your spiritual self, if you are not in tune with your intuition, guess what? You will have plenty of people around you who are trying to tell you, to screen you that message. You are not connected, because those people will not be connected with themselves and they will operate from a lower nature. So if you have those people around you, it tells a message about you. Also, you will not listen your intuition if you are disconnected. Because when you know what your core values are, when you know what the emotional experience you want to have in your life, then intuition will tell you by triggers, by different kind of messages, signals, will tell you through your own body what is happening emotionally. But if you are disconnected from your own emotions and you don't have emotional vision of your life, of your experiences that you desire, then forget it. People will treat you as they want to treat you, and you will allow them that because of those many beliefs of others, but not yours. If you don't trust yourself and your inner, intuition, your inner judgment system that comes from intuition, guess what? You will face authorities in your life. And that's a whole another topic I'm going to talk about because I see this also so common, but I will give you a tip. When somebody doesn't trust themselves, when they have plenty of insecurities about self, then they will see other people, they will have many authorities that they will look up to. Why? Because they believe that somebody else is better than them, knows more than them, so they will follow them because they know better. The same as probably as you are watching now me. Some of you might put me on that shitty pedestal, what I really don't like to be at. I am here just to share my attitude, my point of view. I please, I beg you, don't take everything like pure truth. Consult with yourself if my words is hitting your gut. If it's hitting your gut, that's how you know that it's truth. The same, you know that it's not the truth, or at least not your truth, when something feels off in the words of your authority. If something feels off, it's immediate sign for you. Come back to yourself, reconnect with yourself, ask yourself, because all answers are within you. You don't need anybody else to tell you the truth. You know that it's within you. And environment will just reflect you by triggers or by the trigger that something is off. That's how you know that it's not truth, or it will hit you straight to your gut, to your core, and that's how you will know that, yeah, damn, yeah, that's the truth. But if some authority that you perceive being as authority and you yourself put that person on a pedestal and you believe everything what that person is telling you, even though it doesn't feel right to you, guess what? You are disconnected from yourself. And that's what people will mirror you. When you are insecure about yourself, people will reflect you back. They will give you, they will teach you some things that will not resonate with you, but you will believe. If you don't trust yourself, what else could happen? Yeah, it's a very straight highway to be manipulated because you don't trust your own judgment, your own your own inner critic. So whoever else will tell you something, you will believe that. Especially if that somebody is your partner who you love but who is operating from a lower nature, who is not connected with their higher self. Even if somebody is connected with their higher self, what I realized among my own friends, that each of us, we have our own filter of reality that is based on our own experience. So it doesn't mean that somebody's experience is the true one. I'm applying now to everything what I'm sharing with you. My experience, my filter might not be your truth if it doesn't feel good what I'm talking about. But if it hits your gut, that's how you know that it's true. And every time when some authority or even your partner will tell you something that will not resonate with you, listen yourself. Listen yourself more than the other person. I think I'm starting a new topic now. So let's finish here. So summing everything up, the answer to the question, can sex revive love, is no. Because such thing as reviving love doesn't even exist. Love is something what is and one more thing what I didn't mention, love is something what is outside of the body. Love is not affected by a chemical process of your brain that feeds your cells of your body with specific hormones, specific chemicals. So sex is physical. Love is outside of the physical. Love is spiritual feeling. And what I forgot to mention, that I watched so many documentaries about people sharing the story, people who experienced, who had experiences of near to death, who experienced clinical death and they came back. They all, being in different parts of the world, not knowing each other, they all tell the same message to us here, being for those who are still sleeping with a consciousness, living with a sleeping consciousness. They all say one and the same message. Out of the body, when you go out of the body, when you leave the physical body of yours, there is only one feeling, and it is unconditional love. And that's how we can separate sex from love, that it's not the same. But sex is an expression of love, a byproduct of love, but not the reason to create love or even to revive love, what is out of the body. How can you revive something what is out of the body with something what is in the body? So yeah, that's my message, guys. And I feel now how good it is, how good I'm feeling when I acted upon this inspiration to talk about this topic because of that trigger that friend caused me. Thank you so much. You know who you are, and we can continue discussing about this topic during our next meetings. Okay, guys, for now this is it, and most likely I will make some more videos about what love is not, so we will come closer to understanding by mind and feeling by the heart what that feeling actually is, by understanding what it's not. So for now this is it, and good night. I'm going to rest finally. Ciao, guys.